Hi, my name's Ella. My artist name is Fires. This is
Santa Monica.
Firstly and foremostly, I am an events manager and I run a music networking events company called Nova Networking. But secondary to that, I am a rapper.
I'm also a music businesswoman. I had a music events company when I was 21 that did very well. And right now I am training in digital marketing and I'm trying to go down that path a little bit more. So that's what I do. I do it all really and truly. If you know me, you know me.
A little bit of everything.
This podcast can also double as a drinking game. Take a shot every time one of us says 100%.
We both have ADHD, so I don't know how well this podcast is going to go.
So we are going to be talking about loads of things today, predominantly music and the music industry, mental health.
Because September is Suicide Prevention Month, and I have an event called Nova Networking, and we're doing an event on the 12th of September at my Petite Jamaica. I don't know if this is going to come out before or afterwards.
It's a popping spot.
If it's after, then check out the footage from that event. It's due to be really, really good. And if it comes out before the event, then make sure you get down. It's at my Petite Jamaica in Camden on Inverness Street. And it's basically a music networking event. And this one, we've got a keynote speaker from Music Minds Matter, which is part of Help Musicians. She's called Grace Meadows, and she's going to be coming down to give a talk on, mental health in the industry and ways to access help and all that good stuff.
So Ella has been doing her Nova Networking events. She's done many events, and the reason why she's doing this event...
One of our attendees, Gary Phelan, he sadly passed away recently over in Dubai, where he moved actually to help further his career. He was getting really big bookings out in Dubai, like everything seemed to be going really well for him, but you just never really know when someone's struggling, as this is a prime example. He ended his life recently, and his family trying to raise money to get his body back from Dubai, because obviously that can be very expensive. I think they needed to raise about £10,000. So they've got a Just Giving set up for that. And I'll put the link somewhere in the description if you want to give to that, if you're able. But my event, it's £5 entry, but really it's just a donation. It's going to go majoritively towards their Just Giving page for Gary. But also a portion's going to be donated to Music Minds Matter, because obviously they're the speakers attending the event and it's in collaboration with them. So your money will be going to a good cause.
It's nice that you're doing this event for Gary. I feel like it's very meaningful. I feel like as an artist, everybody has mental health, and it's really a struggle.
Do you have any of your own experiences that you want to draw on? Because obviously you're an artist yourself.
Bloody hell.
And you sing and you're a great singer, and obviously... I was just wondering if you had any struggles yourself with mental health.
I feel like the struggles are multiple. There's struggles in everyday life, not just about being in the music industry, but just generally day-to-day life is a struggle. From A to fucking Z, from 1 to fucking a million.
To fucking Z, from 1 to fucking a million.
It's a fucking struggle.
No,
I don't want to get too deep, but I probably will. I think it's really hard, being an artist and not being recognized for what you do. There's a lot of pressure to release music as a young person, or I'm not trying to say that men don't go through this as well, but as a young female, getting connections within the music industry is really difficult, working out who you can trust and not putting yourself in vulnerable situations.
No, 100%. I completely agree with that. Especially the not knowing who you can trust bit, because obviously young males and young females are absolutely prone to grooming.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a really deep topic that needs to be spoken about. So, for example, I've had friends who have been invited to studio sessions, for example, with producers, right? They're 14. They're great at what they do. A producer, you put yourself out there on the internet, on whatever platform it might be. When I was 14, it was probably bloody Facebook, or MySpace. Do you know what I mean? But you put yourself out there, and someone's come to you and they've said, "Oh, come to the studio, come for a session." And you might be a bit naive at that age, obviously, and just think everyone's your friend and everyone wants to help. And you might go there, and a lot of people get SA'd in the industry from doing things like this, and a lot of younger women and younger men, they do get groomed, and it is just the reality of the industry, and it's fucked up and it shouldn't happen, but it does happen.
When we were growing up, like maybe like 10 years ago, the way that like things are publicized on social media, like that they are now, it's like I feel like everyone's very aware of what goes on.
Your whole
so you
business
can be
is plastered as well.
Like as much as you can like, not that you should have to do this, but you can kind of like have a vision to protect yourself from it. Whereas before, when we were growing up, I feel like it was like not very spoken about and not very known. But then obviously the internet and social media, like there's the dark side to that as well, where you're easily contactable, you're easily accessible. As a young female having your own event company, what are some struggles that you faced in the industry?
So for me personally, obviously I had 2 companies when I was studying at university. So I had it was like an EDM club night. It was called Bass Junkies. I had an audio and visual hire company called On One Audio that actually did really well. But that's kind of separate because that's way more behind the scenes. So for me as a female promoter, I've experienced a lot of prejudice, and I don't know if it's subconscious prejudice from the people that are being prejudiced towards me, or whether they know they're doing it or they don't. I don't know, but that's what I've experienced. So for example, being a female promoter / events manager, when I go out venue scouting, for example, venue hunting, people, they don't seem to take me very seriously. They're kind of looking around like, so where's the man in this? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like to me, it just feels a little bit like a kick in the teeth, really, because it's like I've worked so hard to build what I've built, and then I'm out here basically trying to network with you, do business with you, and you're not taking me seriously for why? Because I'm a woman. Like, I just don't think it's giving sexist, and it's not making sense.
So do you know what? I can really relate to this as well. I had an event company when I was 21, and it actually did very well as well. And it was basically a platform for upcoming artists. We would book clubs and party. I felt exactly the same struggle. Like, we would book a venue, and I remember this one time we were at a club called Salt. I'm going to shout you out, fuck it. Like, we was at a club called Salt in West Hampstead. And please tell me why, like, me and my business partner have come to the event to, like, start our event, and the man that owns the club is not there. He's, like, running late. And
what do we have, ladies? A fucking clown.
I'm like, bro, if I was a man, would you be late right now? Like, it's giving unprofessional. What struggles do you face, like, on a daily basis, or just in general?
Personally, for me, obviously I'm not like a big artist, to be honest. The only 2 songs that, not even 2 songs, the only song I've put out is our song, right?
You're actually the only artist that I've worked with.
Me too. But occasionally I'll put like little freestyles on TikTok, Insta, whatever. And, you know, as an up-and-coming artist, especially in this day and age, you really need to put yourself out there because, you know, A&R, they're looking on social media. Do you get it? Like, you're not standing on the high street handing out your mixtape anymore. This is not 2009.
Wish we was.
Like, this is digital. Like, this is the world we live in, right?
Digital marketing.
Yeah. So, for me, when I put out like snippets of my music, a lot of the time you can get like fat shamed, or you can get slut shamed a lot. You see it a lot with female artists, regardless or not of whether they're, you know, acting promiscuous or rapping about or singing about anything promiscuous, or no matter how they're dressed. Like, it's just being a woman in the industry is very difficult because you do face these issues. For me personally, I get fat shamed a lot, and the way that I random people on the internet, like,
that is fucking wrong.
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me personally. But do you know, like, if it wasn't me, someone can end their life over that, and 100%. This is what this is about. Like, if I wasn't resilient and like have like I don't give a fuck like mentality, if I let this shit get to me, if I wasn't thick-skinned, I would be dead. It's horrible, and I know a lot of women go through the same thing, and a lot of men also, but with the slut shaming, it is very much more predominantly women artists that, you know, experience that. And so that's kind of what I've experienced as an artist. There's a lot of hate when you have to put yourself out there
I think
online.
It's very hard. Like, if you're posting yourself and putting yourself out publicly, you're always going to have people that have something to say.
100%.
And it's not valid. Like, but really and truly, like, there should be like rules. Like, these people should be blocked the fuck away from you. But
block ka al Facebook, block ka al WhatsApp,
بلوك تليفونات، بلوك انستغرام، بلوك عفوا بلوك.
At the end of the day, it's not realistic, and it is going to happen. And I think like you're right. You do have to have a thick skin. It's fucked up. Like,
what struggles have you faced as an artist? Because I know you put your brand and yourself out there a lot.
I would say maybe like insecurities when it comes to putting yourself out there. Like, you know, our rolling out video. Like, I look back on that. I don't know, like, if other people can agree with this. Like, there's sometimes you post artwork of yourself, you put it out there, and I just look back on it and I'm like, I'm making myself feel sick. Like, I fucking hate it. Like, should I be saying this? But like, I'm like, girl, like, what? And I feel like you have to not like look at yourself like that, because if that was another woman and I saw them doing that, I would never think those things of that person.
That is so true.
I would never think those things.
No, that is actually
so why am I
true.
thinking it of myself? You know what I mean? But I think it's hard, like, when you put yourself out there and other people have their opinions. Like,
you know what? That's a really good point. The fact, because obviously I was talking about how other people have made me feel, right? But your point is more how you feel about yourself. And you know what? Mental health is a very complex thing, and it's not always from an outside source that makes you kind of feel shit about yourself and deteriorates your mental health. Sometimes it's your own thoughts and feelings 100%. About yourself, and everyone else could tell you, oh, you're doing amazing, like, you're beautiful. But mental health is just that, it's mental health.
I think as well, like, me and you have, even though like we didn't grow up together, I think we've come from similar backgrounds where we had a lot of attention on us at a very young age. I don't know about you, but I definitely experienced like a lot of bullying when I was younger. And it gives you this certain mentality where you're like very thick-skinned, but it doesn't always come across in the most correct way.
Helped for me 100%.
And then as I've grown up,
to be thick-skinned,
I've definitely like reevaluated the way that I look at other people, the way that I look at myself. I'm a much kinder person, and I'm much kinder to myself. And I think that's what we have to be in this industry. Like, you just got to learn to be kind to yourself and not take life too seriously as well, you know?
100%.
We're here for a good time, not a long time. How do you feel about handling rejection, and what advice would you give to people?
So for me, I went to theatre school for 14 years, from when I was 4 to when I was 17. I think that's 14 years. My maths is really bad. Don't at me. I went to theatre school. So I was really taught how to handle rejection, because
I don't know what went into that process. I met the criteria to be selected, but I wasn't.
Obviously I was acting, right? So I had an agent, and a lot of the time with auditions and stuff, you do get rejected. And it's just a part of life. But where I was in theatre school from such a young age, like I was literally 4 years old doing auditions, my teachers in theatre school, they taught you kind of how to handle rejection. So I learned that at a very young age. So I've grown up like knowing how to handle rejection really well. For me, I would just say it's kind of not innately in me. Obviously, I wasn't born with the means to like not care if I get rejected. But because I learned it at such a young age, for me, it's just something I don't really think about. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that clearly wasn't meant for me. That wasn't meant to be in a part of my journey.
That's exactly how I feel. I have this attitude towards life that if something is meant for you, it is gonna come to you. Like, the universe is not gonna bless you with opportunities unless you're ready. God or the universe, same thing. You're not going to be blessed with an opportunity if you're not ready. And the attitude that I've always kind of had throughout my life as well, I'm not sure if this is like good advice or not, but it's like, you know, when as people, like, we do fuck things up for ourselves sometimes. And I feel like I've always said to myself, you know what, girl, it's okay. Like, you were not meant to have that. And that's why you could not act accordingly in that situation to have what you were meant to have. And I don't know if that's me being like, to fucking like self-love, but I feel like it's a good attitude to have, because I agree to be kind to yourself and be loving towards yourself. It's very fucking hard. Like, it really is hard.
Not many people possess the skill to be able to do that.
I think I'm quite blessed.
I think I'm quite blessed,
like, to be able to do that, because it is hard, like, to not feel like that about yourself, you know?
No, 100%, I agree with you. But I think it is a good outlook to have and a good mindset to have. And you know what? I've seen it to be true, like, not just in music. I know we're primarily speaking about music here, but like not just in music, like in my actual 9 to 5, because let's remember, guys, most artists in this day and age, they're not just artists. That's a very minute percent of people. Like, we all have day jobs, right? So whatever transpires in your day-to-day life is going to transpire through into your music, like with regards to this type of stuff, like rejection, right? So for me, I just really truly believe spiritually that what is meant for you will find you, and 100%. What is not will pass you by. That's it. Like, that's, even if you really, really wanted that job, like you really wanted, it was your dream job and you don't get it, there's a reason you did not get that job.
Exactly.
There's a reason that you were not supposed to.
Normally it's a bigger power protecting you from something that you're unaware of.
100%.
And you will get the opportunity when it's the right time for you.
Absolutely.
So I only started actually like taking music seriously when I was an adult. And I think the reason why, like, I didn't do it when I was younger, when I was a teenager, I had this mentality that, like, if you're an artist, you should make it by the time you're 18. I don't know if you ever felt this, but
I never wanted to do music really until I was in uni, and people were like, you're really good.
It's sad because I always wanted to do music. Yeah, I didn't have the confidence to do it. And I felt like, this is when I was very young. So, like, my mind was fucked. I was not right. And no, I wasn't, trust me. But like, I always felt like, oh, like, by the time you're a certain age, like, you should have done this and this. And it's like, you know what, it doesn't just correlate to music, it correlates to everything in life. And what I've learned as an adult now is there is no time limit on this shit. Like, 100%. You don't need to be a certain age to reach certain goals. Like, you can do this shit at any point in your life. Like, you don't have to be the same as other people. Like, you're on your own journey.
I completely agree with you. And again, like I said, this transpires into other, you know, like, if you're watching this and you're not part of the music industry, like, this shit can be relayed and translated into whatever industry you are a part of, you know, like, yeah, I completely agree with you. Absolutely, 100%.
Life is tough, but especially being an artist,
because you have to put yourself
out
so
there. Public.
Yeah,
you're so public. And as well, I think, you know, like 10-15 years ago, you had other people that was running your shit for you. Right now, you have to do everything yourself. You have to be your marketing team. Like, if you're not managed or you're not signed.
I make the beats, I write the lyrics, I record it, I mix it and master it, I make the album art, I do the distribution, promoting, and then I cry because no one listens to it.
Do you lot know how much it costs to get a good music video? Please, good visuals. Crazy. That's why you should come to Nova Networking.
It's literally non-profit. Like, she is not getting a single fucking thing out of this. Like, we are there to network. You have speakers in the industry, they give advice. It's cool to network with them as well. And it's cool to network with other artists as 100%, well. You know,
100%.
Get those connections, guys. There's also, like, it's not solely artists, it's people in the music industry.
Yeah,
so
people already established music industry professionals. This industry, you need to help each other, right? Like, you need to. It's an expensive industry to be a part of, firstly, if you're not signed, which majority of people aren't, right? Most people are independent. And it's just, your network is your net worth, right? Like, we all know this. It's common knowledge. Your network is your net worth. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And it's so prevalent in this industry. In any creative industry, it is not what you know, it's who you know. And your network is your net worth. Like, 100%. The best advice I can give to anyone in the industry is network. Like, you're not going to get anywhere if you don't network, unless you're lucky or you're a Nepo baby. You're not getting anywhere. Like,
and also, love your craft as well. I feel like sharing music is about the passion, and it's about spiritually connecting with music and sharing it for people that can benefit from it. You're doing it because you care, y'all. You're doing it because
you enjoy it.
Exactly.
Because you enjoy it. I'm gonna be so open and honest right now. I don't think I'm a particularly good artist. I don't even like my own music.
No.
But so many
I feel like all good artists say this shit.
But so many people like love my tracks. They know my lyrics. Hi. Like, when I do an open mic, like, I have people in the crowd like rapping my bars back to me, and I'm like, bruh,
where's my backing?
Like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? But I don't think it's a good feeling. Good. So maybe I should believe in myself more. Maybe that's what that transpires.
You should. I feel like I remember when I first met you, and like, So we have mutual. So like we knew who each other was, but then we met each other. This is like 4 years ago, I think, and
more. Yeah,
around 4 years ago.
2020.
And I remember you came to my house in COVID. Like, you know, COVID was getting crazy. We all know like COVID was not. We were on a different planet.
Weren't no one lockdown. Listen. In the
I don't know about that.
listen to the rules, but you know when they were letting people go to the clubs, but you couldn't see your friends, make it make sense. Anyway,
school dinner tables and that was fucking biggie. But I remember you came to my house like with a couple of our mutual friends, and I heard you rap for the first time, and I didn't even know you could rap, and I was like, are you fucking crazy? Like, are you actually fucking crazy? And I remember what you said to me. You was like, I would never make music. Like, I would never put music out there. And I was like, girl, you should. You fucking should. But you literally said to me, I will not release music. And I'm so proud of you because look at you now. Look at you now. You've got your event company that you're performing at. Like, you know your music is fire as well. But that's the thing with artists. Like, I feel like you can know you're talented, but you don't want to do nothing with it. But I remember you was like, I will never do it. So then when me and you made a track together, I was like, yeah, look at her now. You know what I mean?
That was super random how that came about, but I feel like that's a conversation for like another podcast.
We're going to touch up on that and tune in.
But like I said at the beginning of the episode, it is September and it is Suicide Prevention Month / Suicide Awareness Month. And I would just like to say, in case there is anyone watching this video that is struggling with suicidal thoughts or, you know, is struggling with clinical depression,
you're not alone.
I'm going to put on screen now actually a number for help musicians. So anyone in the industry that's struggling, here's a number that you can call. And anyone else, I'm going to insert another number, another crisis number that you can call if you feel like you have no one to speak to or reach out to, and you do feel suicidal, or you just need someone to talk to because you're feeling a little bit down. I'm also going to insert Samaritan's number. It's 116123 for anyone else who might not be in the industry who's watching this, who may also be struggling.
If you are an artist or somebody in the industry, Nova Events has always been a safe space for artists. So please feel free to contact Nova on Instagram if you would like to perform, or if you would just like to come and network, or if you would like to come and support artists as well. It's a safe space. Everyone's good vibes. We're like family there.
Yeah, it's definitely a big family unit at Nova. So if any of you are struggling and you might want to connect with some people in person, that's always great. You're more than welcome down at any events, and it's at Nova Music Networking on Instagram and at Nova Networking on LinkedIn if any of you corporate baddies are watching, and also at Nova Networking on TikTok as well.
All of the proceeds from this event will be going to
Gary Phelan's family's Just Giving page, which is going towards helping bring his body back from Dubai and also to pay for his funeral. And a portion will also be donated to Music Minds Matter, which is a part of Help Musicians, which is a very well-established and well-known charity that helps musicians and people in the industry, really anyone in the music industry, with anything they're struggling with, essentially.
It was very nice to speak with you guys today.
Yes, I had great fun filming this. I don't usually look like this, by the way. So when you see me in a nice tech trackie in the next episode, mind your business, okay? Because I will not be looking like this again. Thank you so much for listening, and goodbye.
We would love to see you at Nova.
Yes. Mwah.
Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you, everyone.
That's a wrap.
Santa Monica.
Okay, are you ready?
Put down dark.
Oh,
hello. You need to be quiet. Adjust this mic because it's yelling at my fucking girl.
I'm struggling, so if you're free.
Sorry, not if anyone's struggling, so if you're free.
Fine.
Oh my god, I'm so great.
You're an artist yourself.
From A to fucking Z, from 1 to fucking a million. I want to get too deep, but I probably will.
And the internet,
What going on right now?
Why? Because I'm a woman. It's giving sexist.
Just pause. Don't make fucking noise. It's cool. It's cool.
Oh my good god.
No, it's fine. No one calls me anyway.
It's just all my friends are here in the room. Like, what do you mean?
Who's calling me?
Oh well. Not you guys. Don't worry. From the club.
We both have ADHD, so I don't know how well this podcast is going to go, but it's fine.
PS rolling out. Are we taking a break?
Okay, no, that's not the question.
What am I asking you? Face, have you... Okay.
So my
is this rolling?
we all have day jobs, right? So are you. Absolutely 100%.